I've been trying to kick off 2024 just right. I finished one book just before the start of the year, and I've started sharing another book with the world. These are books that I've written. My partner started 2024 off by reminiscing the past 6 years of our relationship with me. I really enjoy the deep conversations we have. I enjoy the conversations about my writing and about the books I'm reading. He doesn't read much and he has yet to see the movie, but I'm fairly confident my partner knows more about the Hunger Games prequel than he ever expected to. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which for some odd reason I always call the Ballad of Songbirds and Serpents, tells about the backstory of Snow, a serpent, and I love telling my partner about it over and over again, and he loves telling me about his favorite video games. I think I listened to him talk about Monster Hunter for at least 8 hours yesterday, and he talks about the games I play too. I remember one conversation last year about Stardew Valley. He'd asked me who the correct choice is when choosing somebody to marry. I told him there is no correct choice. There are 12 choices because everybody likes somebody different. We talked through all 12 choices together until he reached the one he thinks to be correct. Penny is canonically the correct choice. Penny is the most like me. She's the shy little reader who just wants to give children the joy she never got to have growing up. Stardew Valley is the cute, cozy game where we can farm and romance these cute little pixel pals, but it is not without its darkness. Several of these pixel pals have dark stories behind them. Penny's is the abuse she's been hiding behind her books. Her mother is an abusive alcoholic who refuses to work for her child to have joy. Penny is the one character you can save. You can marry her to take her out of that house, and you can even build a real house for her mother should you choose. There are many family dynamics within the Pixel Pals of Stardew Valley. Penny lives with her mother. Sisters Emily and Haley live with each other. In the original release of Stardew Valley, Emily could not be married, along with one of the boys. She was added to the marriage roster in Update 1.1. I believe this is why we still get scenes with Clint that don't make sense when we marry her. We can't even save her from Clint through marriage. Marrying Emily doesn't save her at all. It brings her to your house, leaving Haley all alone in hers. Haley is the younger sister and the one who doesn't feel the responsibilities of the world. She takes pictures all day, and she hangs out with Alex at his ice cream stall. Photography is a perfectly respectable career, but we don't really see Haley making anything out of it. In marrying Haley, we continue to allow her to ignore the world's responsibilities. Shane is the male marriage candidate that was added to the 1.1 update. In adding him, Concerned Ape allowed us to be able to save Shane in a way from his depressive alcoholism. But we don't have to marry him. We can go through his scenes and seasons to save him from alcoholism just by befriending him. We can even do this while married to a different pal. Shane can remain living with his aunt and his goddaughter, but he can be living a much better life. And he'll even give us cute little blue chickens. Harvey is the pixel pal who saves lives. At least he saves ours over and over again when we collapse while mining. Of course, this is America, or is it? So he doesn't save us for free. Harvey lives alone above his clinic, dreaming of flying the friendly skies. Going through the scenes and seasons of these pixel pals does allow some of them to begin living their dreams, but Harvey's fear of heights keeps him safe on the ground, no matter if he's married or not. Sam and Leah both begin living their dreams when we go through their scenes and seasons. Sam is such a happy-go-lucky boy. He lives with his mom and little brother in a big old home. Then his dad returns for more in the beginning of the second year, and Sam continues to go about life happily. And he has a dream to make it big in his band. We can help him do that. We don't have to marry him for it. We can marry him and bring him home to our farm, or we can allow him to continue living with his happy little family. Leah is one of the few who lives on her own. She's more of a newcomer to Pelican Town, just like we are. She moved from the big city for a quieter life, away from her suffocating ex-girlfriend. Leah is also the only one we know for sure even has an ex. A couple pals will make offhand comments such as, "I've never done this with a girl before," but there's no confirmation other girls or boys have been romantically in their lives before, while Leah is being actively stalked by hers. There's no real way of saving her from it. As she starts to make successes with her art, her ex-girlfriend starts to show up. I guess in marrying her, we can ensure she'll be protected at home, but we can't ensure Kel will leave her alone. In some ways, I think Maru is the same as some of the other Pixel pals. She works at the clinic with Harvey, so she's saving lives too. She is happy living with her family in a big old home where she can make her dreams come true. And she's a younger sibling who doesn't have to worry about the world's responsibilities too. Maru doesn't have anything to be saved from, save an unhealthy sibling dynamic, but Maru doesn't seem to notice the dynamic as much as her older sibling does. So who are we really saving in marrying Maru? Alex is a pixel pal with a darker past but a soft and safe present. He lives with his grandparents and his childhood dog lives in their front yard. Alex is the typical jock who peaked in high school as the quarterback. He's an arrogant jerk. Until you get to know him and peel back the layers of who he really is. A hurting child who watched his mom slowly die under the abuse of his father. But Alex has been saved by his grandparents who love him and want him to live out his dreams. Marrying him keeps him in Pelican Town, where there is no football team for him to be the quarterback of. Elliot is another bit of a newcomer. He's also more than a bit of a recluse. He chose a quiet corner of Pelican Town to live and quietly work on his book. I said in the beginning that Penny is the most like me as a reader, but I'm a writer too, and my partner is a pianist like Elliot. So his personality appeals to me. And then he looks like the models on the covers of romance novels. My partner and I fondly call him Fabio. Elliot can live out his dream of publishing his books through our friendship, but we are his muse, so he sees us as more than friends, really. Marrying Elliot doesn't save him, and it doesn't really change his life. Maybe he can just get the inspiration to write about a romance set on a farm. And then we get to Abigail, the pal whose scenes we've been watching this entire time. Abigail doesn't have a dark or even very special story, but she is special. Not only on nearly every forum have I found is she listed as the most popular marriage candidate, but she is also my partner's favorite. My partner and I were both drawn to our favorites for the very same reason, their aesthetics. I'm the writer who is drawn to storylines, and my partner is the musician who is drawn to soundtracks, but we both very much appreciate art, and we love the art of our favorites. Abigail is one of the few whom in marrying can be saved. She doesn't feel as loved as her parents. It's the same with my favorite. It's the same with my partner and myself. Abigail lives with her parents, who are helping put her through college and remind her constantly just how ungrateful she is about it, as if it's not just her parents' responsibility to make sure their kid survives this life, or Stardew Valley's life. In marrying Abigail, you can find her gratitude and let her live the way she deserves, not just survive. And I always marry Sebastian. As I said before, I was drawn to his aesthetics first. It's his hair. Just as my partner likes Abigail's purple hair, I love Sebastian's ink black hair. As a writer, my most recent book has love interests with only dark hair. We can blame Sebastian for that if we want. I've avoided mentioning Sebastian before this, but he fits in the stories of a few other Pixel pals too. He is in Sam's band, and Abigail is his other best friend. And he's Maru's older sibling. I've always believed Sebastian to have a good relationship with his mom. He loves Robin, and we see that she loves him too. But he feels like his stepdad only loves Maru, and it affects his relationship with his sister. And it brings up a lot of regret. In befriending Sebastian, we learn that he's depressed just as Shane is. All he wants is to get out, and in marrying him, we can save him from that. It is so very possible to be in a happy relationship and still feel depression. Marriage doesn't erase mental illness, but the person you marry can be so important in the healing process of your mental illness. It's what I've experienced ever since the beginning of my relationship, and it's why I love marrying Sebastian over and over again. In a way, I am saving somebody. But of the 24 tributes in the 10th Hunger Games, only one can be saved. The first tribute is sacrificed before the games even begin. Brandy of District 10 is shot down by peacekeepers in the zoo where the tributes are held. After Sejanus brings his ma sandwiches to feed the tributes, other mentors decide to feed their tributes too. But Arachne Crane is a spoiled and entitled rich girl. She is disgusted by her tribute's profession of butchery, and when she brings a sandwich to the zoo, she taunts her tribute with it. Brandy takes Arachne's knife and slits her throat. Nobody is saved that day, not that anyone tried. The rebels still try. Even as the war ended a decade ago, the rebels still protest and try to save Panem from the grips of the capital. That's why it is believed they set off a bombing in the Hunger Games arena. The day the mentors bring their tributes to first see the arena, the 33 kids are bombed down. There are not 33 lives saved that day. The tributes and the mentors of District 6 are all killed in the bombing. Tributes Otto and Jenny are killed before we ever get to know them. Twins Apollo and Diana Ring were their mentors and died alongside them. At least the two siblings don't have to live without one another now. District 9's Panlo and Sheaf are also killed from the bombing, but they suffer first in the hands of medics who cannot save them. They die days later, as does Panlo's mentor Gaius Breen. Snow is the first told about Gaius's death and does his best to save his reputation with kind words for him. District 2's Sabin is the tribute who dies by choice that day. The bombing opens the arena up for escape, and Sabin takes it. Only she falls to her death, saving herself in a way, and leaving florid friend without a tribute to mentor. Two other tributes try to make their escape, only they aren't saved. District 1's Facet, mentored by Livia Cardew, and Velverine, mentored by Palmiro Monti, are shot down by peacekeepers who have no mercy. Only one tribute may have found the mercy Facet and Velverine had searched for. 9 tributes are saved from the tortures of the Hunger Games. The people of the districts are seen by the people of the capital as not quite human. We see it so clearly in the inner monologue of Snow, in the way he spends the interviews trying to make Lucy Gray seem not quite district. And this is why the capital has no remorse in letting 23 children kill each other in an arena. But there are some who do see the people of the districts as just human as them. Tegris, and the veterinarian assigned as the medic to the tributes, who does her best to save Hai of District 5 when an asthma attack takes him the night before the games begin. But she works with animals, and Hai is not one. He leaves Dennis Ling without a tribute to mentor in the games. 16 surviving tributes make it into the arena on the first day of the Hunger Games. Nobody saved any of them, and the one tribute who thought he'd found mercy and an escape after the bombings couldn't even save himself. They found him, and they strung him up alive in the arena for the other tributes to see. His death ends up being his mercy. Natural deaths are never unheard of in the games. I would say the first 73 Hunger Games probably all had natural deaths. Most of you will die from natural causes. District 11's Dill is the first tribute to die of natural causes within the arena itself. Tuberculosis kills her, leaving Felix Ravenstill as the first mentor behind Sejanus to leave during the games. It was in the 74th Hunger Games that we first saw the bloodbaths at the beginning of the games. The 10th Hunger Games doesn't have a bloodbath. They have a stash of weapons for the tributes to use, but as soon as the game begins, every tribute runs. It isn't until the second day of the games that the killing between children truly begins. District 5's Soul is killed by Coral of District 4. Coral and her district partner Mizzen ally with District 10's Tanner, forming something of the 10th Hunger Games careers. Iphigenia Moss mentors Soul, and during her final interview, she tells Lucky that she doesn't know whether the girl's name was Soul or Sal. Lucky rewards Iphigenia by calling her Albina. Lysistrata Vickers is the mentor of the second tribute from District 12. The District Snow is mentoring as well. Snow considers her a close friend, and she considers herself Snow's partner in the games. proving this when their tributes finally show their faces again. Jessup partners himself with Lucy Gray. It's Jessup that chases her out of the tunnels. In the zoo, he was bit by a raccoon. The rabies has taken over him. As he chases Lucy Gray, Lysistrata sends sponsor gifts of water out to him to trigger his hydrophobia. Her sacrifice saves Lucy Gray when Jessup falls to his death. The tributes aren't out to save one another anymore. Maybe they never were. The careers take two more. While Tanner keeps guard, Coral and Mizzen climb the beam that District 7's Lamina has been staying on for safety. Plenty Harrington mentors Lamina and displays her as weak, not even able to perform her interviews. But she takes the first kill, a mercy, and she survives into the top 10. Sadly, she can't save herself from two tributes at once, and it's Coral that takes her with a trident, and it's Coral that betrays Tanner, killing him as well. Snow wants Lucy Gray to win so badly. He wants to save her, and so he gives her the idea and the means to kill the other tributes with rat poison. While she admits to Snow later that her target was always Coral, Lucy Gray takes District 8's Wovie as her first kill. Hilarious Heavensby has been waiting for Wovie to make an appearance so he could send her sponsor gifts to keep her alive, only for her to drink Lucy Gray's water instead. It is Reaper, who has already started his morgue of tributes, who confirms Wovie is dead. The next day, Snow is no longer the only one to know of Gaius Breen's death. He says some kind words for his friend to the broadcast, and then Dr. Gall announces live her plans to get back at the rebels for Gaius's death. The mutated snakes, the ones that Clemencia Dovecot is attacked by, is sent into the arena. Only Snow is still on his mission to save Lucy Gray, and he makes it so the snakes won't go after her. The snakes kill District 3's Cirque first, as his district partner Tesley looks for Mizzen to save them. Io Jasper is Snow's lab partner, and he is sad to see her lose her mentorship to Cirque. It's more of a shock, though, than it is sadness when the snakes take their second kill. District 4's Coral has the most kills under her belt, but her savagery can't save her from the snakes. Festus Creed, Snow's best friend in the games, takes the loss of his mentorship better than some of the other mentors. And it's the third death to the snakes that is the most savage, because it's Lucy Gray's second kill, and it happens the day after the snakes come. Lucy Gray saves herself from District 7's Treach with a pocketed pink snake, as she saves herself from the other snakes with her song. Vespania's Sickle doesn't take the loss of her mentorship as well as Festus. After the rain washes the snakes away, District 3's Tesley comes back for her revenge against Mizzen. He didn't save them from the snakes after all, so she brings him her rewired drone, the one she took after it crashed trying to deliver the very first sponsor gift. Persephone Price may be a cannibal's daughter, she may even be a cannibal herself, but she's a gracious loser when Tesley's drones take Mizzen down, and when Treach takes Tesley, before Lucy Gray takes him with a snake, before Tesley is even finished with her drones, Urban Canville is out of the games as well. It's the girl who was first attacked by the snakes who is left mentoring with Snow. Clemencia Dovecot is the mentor of District 11's Reaper. She missed the first day or so, all of the interviews of the games, because she was in the hospital recovering from the colored scales covering her skin. She refuses throughout the games to send Reaper any sponsor gifts. He hasn't proven himself to her. He hasn't done anything save for making his little morgue of fallen tributes. It isn't until Lucy Gray begins messing with his morgue that he ever notices her. She gets him into a chase, exhausting him until he is forced to drink from a puddle, the one she's poisoned. Lucy Gray's third kill. There are two kills I've yet to mention, kills 10 and 12. The two kills that changed the entire makeup of the games. The Mercy Kill Marcus, Sejanus' tribute, done by Lamina. Sejanus, Marcus's former classmate, is the mentor to find himself within the games, and Sejanus is the one to be saved. Sejanus still sees himself as a district boy. Maybe he sees himself as not quite human. He certainly sees it not human to participate in the games. That's why he wants to die in that arena, to protest the games, only they aren't going to allow Sejanus' death to be shown, and so they send Snow in to save him. Snow saves both of them, but not without a cost. District 8's Bobbin. It is Snow who isn't quite human when he beats the boy to death with a board. He hardly knows who he is when he kills him, but it's after his death that Snow knows who he could be. Someone who takes 2 more later on. He's a little pleased to see Juno Phipps lose her mentorship after hearing all throughout the interviews how she's entitled to a better tribute. And it is Snow's tribute that is the victor. It is Lucy Gray that gets to go back home after the Hunger Games, and it is Lucy Gray's ending that is a mystery. I find this to be a perfect ending to a tragic story. We don't know what became of Lucy Gray, we're not supposed to, and yet we still speculate because we are human, just as Lucy Gray is. I like that we are now in the year 2024, while there were 24 tributes in the Hunger Games, and we have 12 months to live this year, while there are 12 marriage candidates in Stardew Valley, and it's our job to make the best of it. We're all just humans with our own little lives to live, full of death, but also love.